Right, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a really lovely car. It's a 1.6 EX diesel Honda Civic. Finished here in Galaxy Grey, full black leather interior. 64,000 miles on this car, and it's very, very, very clean. Lights and lenses there, completely clear and intact. The front of the car, apart from a couple of wash marks or splash marks, very clean. The bonnet hardly exhibits a stone chip anywhere. It's absolutely wonderfully clean. Come down the near side of the car. Panel work is really, really crisp. Front alloy, exceptionally good. And the panels themselves are some of the cleanest I've ever seen on a Civic of this age and mileage. They really are wonderfully clean and original. Rear alloy generally good, just a couple of little marks on a couple of the spokes there, but nothing detracts in any way. And again, around the back of the car, it's just been kept very, very, very nicely, this car. Inside and out, the inside matches the outside absolutely perfectly. It's been really cared for very, very well indeed. And down the offside, again, very clean in the panels, really is. Rear offside alloy, again, very good. There's just a couple of minor marks on there, but nothing, again, that really detracts, and certainly in keeping with the age and mileage of the vehicle. And then the remainder of the panels, absolutely wonderfully clean. And front offside alloy looks pretty much as new. So externally, you're looking at one of the nicest Civics in this sort of age and mileage, and certainly price range. Coming into the boot area, absolutely massive boots on these Civics. You've got 60/40 fold in the rear seats there, and it's been kept absolutely beautifully back here. The video doesn't really do it justice. Underneath here, obviously you've got your extra cubby hole there as well, which you can drop down to add extra boot depth rather. Coming to the back now, got the seats in their raised position, which forms part of the magic seat affair on the Hondas. It's just an ingenious design, it really is, and all the carpeted air is absolutely wonderful in the car. And to drop them down, it's all beautifully engineered. This is by Honda, simply drop like that. The seats down now, you can see just how much legroom there is. There's absolutely masses of legroom in these Civics. Rear seats and the condition of them look pretty much as new. They're incredibly clean. Coming to the front now, passenger door card there, clean as a whistle. All the little recesses have been kept beautifully. Footwell areas again, absolutely lovely. Front passenger seat, as with the rears, it doesn't look as though it's been given much use at all. Front door card, again, beautiful condition. No driver's footwell area again, absolutely fantastic as well. And driver's seat is in really lovely condition. So sat inside the car now, engine running through this section so you can see the dashboard illuminated. Dashboard just looks like new, it's incredibly clean. See there, sat nav working exactly as it should. If I pop the car into reverse, you can see you've got that lovely gridded and very clear parking camera. But everything in here is just in wonderful, wonderful condition. If I come up to the top here, hopefully without snagging the wire, and if you can see there, 64,228 miles. And if I come back here, you can see there's absolutely no warning lights on this dashboard at all, and that is basically the view you get as a driver. It's a simply wonderful looking dashboard. I think it's just so unique. But more to the point, it's in absolutely fantastic condition in here. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack is here, and very importantly, so is the locking wheel nut key for the car. So finally, just to come under the engine bay, which as you'd expect from Honda, absolutely beautifully presented. Fantastic engines, more of which in the following road test video. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 EX diesel. This particular car is registered OY63ZFA, and mileage at the start of the road test is 64,222 miles. Reason for doing the road test is basically so customers of ours actually get to see the cars we're selling actually in operation. Done on the very quiet country roads very close to our premises, so hopefully be representative of what you'd feel yourself if offered a test drive on the car. We're well aware now that we're selling to customers not just from the UK but all over Europe as well, so the least we can do is actually go to the trouble of doing these videos for you. They are critical videos, so if there's something not right with the car, you do get to know about it. You're told about it straight away. So coming to the car itself, just a very brief background. The car's literally just been serviced. It's had a new set of front brake pads fitted, as well as engine oil filter and fresh oil put into it. It's also just gone through an independent MOT, so it's literally just serviced an MOT for the year ahead. Engine is brilliant, starts absolutely instantly of course, settles to completely smooth and even idle. There's no warning lights on this car relating to the engine or any other part of the vehicle. Temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car, and the engine has been running for quite some time now. The engines themselves are wonderful units. They pull really nicely, very smooth, flexible. I'm going to let this chap come through. There's lots of them. They're smooth, they're tractor pull, they pull throughout the entire rev range really, really well. Having said the roads are quiet, it's the first time I've ever seen a queue of traffic coming down. I'm guessing they must have been waiting for something. But it's the way the power is delivered. It's a very, very flexible and easy unit. Their reputation for reliability is absolutely unmatched in its class as well. It really is. Obviously cam chain driven, so there's no cam belts at all on these cars to worry about either. And the economy they give is, in the real world as well, absolutely astonishing. Engine then feeds through to clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car, smooth, positive. Bike point is exactly where it should be as well. Clutch depressed or out. The engine note stays exactly the same, no vibrations, nothing at all. Clutch then feeds through into the Honda 6-speed gearbox, which is an absolute masterclass in how to do a manual gearbox. So it's got a lovely mechanical feel to it. It feels beautifully engineered, which of course it is. But it's the fact that most front-wheel drive cars, of course, are gear levers through to the gearbox in front via a cable, and this is no different in that sense. The problem being that a lot of cars, they can feel just vague and lifeless or notchy. This is none of those. It's just a wonderfully defined gate, really, really high quality affair. It really is. I can't detect anywhere in the gear linkage at all. That feels absolutely spot on. So in terms of engine, gearbox and clutch, all absolutely exactly as they should be. So it might be a little bit slower than normal given the forage harvester in front. The rest of the car, steering is absolutely fantastic. It tracks bullet straight. You have to take it from me that up to the legal limit there's no vibrations at all coming back through the steering, which is a pet hate of mine. But the steering itself is really nicely weighted. It's very accurate, very precise. They've done a really lovely job of it, and they've matched it beautifully to the chassis of the car as well, which isn't always a given. The chassis equally is in, it's just a lovely, lovely thing to use. Just gonna see if I can nip by in a second. Because it's what it offers is, I think, the best of all worlds. It's got a wonderfully fluid and supple ride, yet it's very agile too. It changes direction, the corner ahead. You know, if I go in a sort of fraction quicker than I would do normally, basically just turn the steering. Body control's really, really good. Car's nice and settled. It's just a fabulous, fabulous chassis. And also, what I'm looking out for on test drive is any kind of knocking noises or, you know, irritating clonks from underneath. And there's nothing on this vehicle. It's just wonderfully solid on the road. Brakes on the car, as you'll know, with the fresh brake pads, the pedal's really good, and there's no vibrations, pulsing or anything at all coming from the brakes. They're just nice and solid. Worth pointing out, these are very quiet cars. They really are. They're lovely and quiet on the move. I've had a couple of them, and the refinement's very, very good indeed. Be spoiled, of course, if you had a damaged sort of windscreen seal or door seal, but everything is exactly as it should be in here. The interior of the vehicle is in wonderful condition, and unfortunately, as I always say on these videos, what you can't do is just get across just how well built these cars are. This is the later generation Civics, where basically Honda, the previous generation, was always a very well assembled car, but the plastics were quite hard, but they put them together nicely. Honda with this, all this top stuff on the doors as well. They basically used the same materials they used to use in the higher Honda Accord, so you've got a real feeling of solidity in the car. There's literally no squeaks or rattles at all. I mean, it's a quite beautifully assembled vehicle. It's also brilliant to sit behind and use. You've got this simply fantastic dashboard, which I love. It's dead easy to use. The best part for me is this two-tier bit directly in front. So I've got the speedo and information up nice and high, so the car in front, I can be looking at him whilst keeping an eye on my speed, with the speed being so high up. It means you're not taking your eyes off the road for even a nanosecond just to, check your speed. It's just genius, it really is, and it all works absolutely beautifully. You've got air conditioning pumping out, absolutely ice cold, heated seats work perfectly, cruise control functions exactly as it should, all the dials, all the gauges working perfectly as well. But the quality of the switchgear is absolutely astonishing in here. It all feels just beautifully damped. Very, very. A lot of thought's gone into clearly sort of how well to assemble these vehicles and what the quality of the components they actually use. As I said at the start of the video, the point of the video is actually to pick up on any issues. No matter how trivial they might be. Genuinely, there's nothing on this car. It drives as well as any I've driven, including some very, very low mileage ones. I'm not giving it any allowance for the age or mileage of the vehicle, because the car drives absolutely beautifully. Having said that, as always, if I've missed anything on the video, don't hesitate, please do give us a call, and we'll happily answer any questions you might have about this car.